unveiled him as one of the strategies that Uganda Tourism Board is using to create more awareness about destination Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. You will hold one thing.
So, friends, distinguished friends, all those invited, sports fraternity, I take this opportunity, rare opportunity, to unveil our tourism ambassador, our own national, a celebrity, a star, Joshua Kiprui Cheptegei. I congratulate him. I congratulate him and thank him for accepting this huge responsibility of being an ambassador. You know, an ambassador, according to the Geneva Convention, represents a country. But this one represents his country, but also tourism. So Israel is two in one. And I congratulate him to accept this very heavy responsibility. I congratulate you, my brother. And of course, I'll be making remarks later, but for the time being, I congratulate him, and he is now our tourism ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
You should wear it right now. Very good. We shall have more photo opportunities after the presser in the field. So for now,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And as part of our continued efforts to restart tourism in Uganda, you will all recall 5 to 6 years leading to March 2020, Uganda's tourism industry was growing steadily. Between the year 2014, 2015, and the year 2018 and 2019, our visitor numbers, the international arrivals into the country, grew by 19%, from 1.2 million to 1.5 million, averaging 4% each year. The number of leisure visitors that are measured in real terms grew faster by 36%, from 220,219 to 301,134 visitors, a compounded annual growth rate of 6%. Forex earnings from the visitors grew by 22% from US dollars. Some examples of how the pandemic has impacted the tourism sector. According to the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, our survey, occupancy survey that was done for January to June 2020, the room occupancy declined from an average of 52% of the previous year to an average of 19% for the 6 months leading to June 2020. June sank to 2%. It was anticipated that by December 2020, the industry had lost 1 million foreign visitors, translating into US dollars 1.6 billion, equivalent of 3.91 trillion Uganda shillings. Globally, the UNWTO declared 2020 as the worst year in the tourism history, with arrivals declining by 1 billion visitors, translating into 74% decline in arrivals worldwide. Comparatively, tourism declined by just 4% in the 2009 financial crisis. But it hasn't been all doom and gloom. In the last half of 2020, after travel restrictions were relaxed, more especially from Uganda and the rest of the world, we saw a significant uplift in the domestic tourism as Ugandans took to the road. In fact, we do understand that some hotels, especially upcountry hotels, have had increase in the level of their occupancies. To us, that has been a great learning curve and a justification for our renewed strategy that seeks to balance the attention between the overseas visitors with domestic, regional, and intra-Africa travelers to Uganda. On my behalf and behalf of Uganda Tourism Board, I wish to thank all the Ugandans who have been traveling, who have made effort to visit the different parts of the country during this difficult season. We continue to encourage you to travel. On our part, we commit to leverage the lessons and insights learned from this pandemic to further make domestic travel more enriching and worthwhile. On our part, as Uganda Tourism Board, we also did not go to sleep during this difficult time. Specifically during the lockdown, we undertook several initiatives. Some of them included putting in place safety standard operating procedure that we worked on together with the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. And this was done for the sector, for the tourism sector, to ensure that the safe reopening would be followed with rules that are clearly in place to protect everyone. We also went ahead to sensitize and train operators in the tourism sector on the new standard operating procedures. Uganda Tourism Board, led by our board of directors, have had several engagements with the Ministry of Finance, Uganda Development Bank, the European Union, and this engagement resulted into the creation of a pool of 61.8 billion Uganda shillings in a mix of grant and soft loans for the tourism sector, and this includes the hotels as well. Furthermore, Uganda Tourism Board has been working with various partners, such as the UNDP, to create awareness about the opportunities for domestic travel. The Uganda Tourism Board launched the domestic tourism campaign dubbed Take on the Pearl in September, and this has got different groups of Ugandans winning trips to different parts of the country. And we also had a special one for the Renzori Challenge, and I personally participated in that, and this was all in the effort to explore opportunities for further developing mountaineering as a product. To further enhance the resilience of tourism business in Uganda, Uganda Tourism Board in November 2020 signed a memorandum of understanding with Stanbic Bank Incubator, which is supposed to provide opportunity for training, building capacity in managing business by the different operators. Especially, this was to support the startups and the small and medium enterprises in the tourism sector. We also do know that world over, there are mixed signals about the tourism industry recovery, especially during this year of 2021. What we are doing to prepare ourselves and take this from where we are in 2021 and beyond, we expect that in Uganda, we will have more of the regional and intra-Africa visitors to pick up in the second half of 2021, and later on in 2022, we should be expecting as well more of the international travelers coming into the country, and this is because we expect that the ramp-up vaccinations against COVID-19 would have reached many more countries. Early this year, our tourism industry also received a boost in the form of Uganda Airlines delivery of its 2 Airbuses. They are already in the country. The Airbus planes are central to Uganda's airlines launch of long-range operations with the non-stop intercontinental flights to our key markets that are in Europe, as well as our emerging market sources in the Middle East and Asia. The availability of the direct flights from Uganda with Uganda Airlines should further make it more affordable, convenient for the visitors, which will give destination Uganda a competitive advantage. We are aware that the lockdown has given a chance to our competitors to rethink their tourism businesses, which is why, as Uganda Tourism Board, we are also rethinking our approaches to marketing destination Uganda. We shall, in the course of this year, be unveiling a number of initiatives to support the recovery of the sector, and this, among others, will include a renewed Destination Uganda brand. Anybody who understands the tourism industry will tell you that it is built on 5 A's, and the 5 A's are attractions, accommodation, amenities, accessibility, and awareness. While the first 4 A's form the bedrock of tourism, and Uganda has plenty of them, awareness is what converts the first 4 into money. It is not until tourists are aware of our attractions, accommodation facilities, the supporting amenities, and how actually to get there that we will begin making money, and those who are operating in this sector will make the money as investors in this country. In tourism, like in most other businesses, awareness is everything. Honorable Minister, at this point, before I continue, I would like to invite you to unveil our tourism ambassador, and we we will do this before we continue with the rest of the program. So at this point, we are doing this as well to create awareness about Destination Uganda through a personality who has the network with the international markets. He is every now and then.
Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, I am so delighted to be here this morning to express solidarity with all the players in Uganda's tourism industry, as they seek to rebuild an industry that has been nearly destroyed by COVID-19 pandemic. First of all, I would like to thank God, who has minimized the impact of COVID-19 on Ugandans in general. Although economies and business have been greatly impacted, at least the number of deaths are not as unfortunate like in some other countries across the world. I am deeply grateful to the Ugandan Tourism Board for having chosen me for this huge responsibility to be my country's tourism ambassador. It is a responsibility that I accept with all humility and honor. It is both a challenge. I now know more and more Ugandans will be looking up to me, but it is also a blessing and a motivation because I know more and more Ugandans will now be praying for me to win. But perhaps even more important, I am now even more motivated to give every race my all. Because I know every win is not just for me, but it is a win for every of the 700,000 Ugandans employed in the tourism sector, whose livelihoods have been put at stake by the COVID-19 pandemic. Having been born and raised in the mountainous Kapchorwa district in the Sebei sub-region on the slopes of Mount Elgon, close to the famous Sipi Falls, I am deeply aware of the impact of tourism on livelihoods from the top to the bottom of the chain. I know what tourism can do for the youth, for the women groups, and even the uneducated. There is room for everyone to transform their lives. Much as Uganda is well endowed, it is not enough. If the world does not know about it, it is our responsibility as Ugandans to shout on top of the mountains and down in the valleys to everybody across the world, such that we attract more visitors. I look forward to sharing my Ugandan story with the rest of the world. In the same breath, I wish to call upon every Ugandan, especially those in the diaspora, to make it a point to visit and discover more about this our country, Uganda. I also urge them to use every opportunity to promote our country, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, as a must visit. This is one of the many ways in which we can contribute to rebuilding our tourism industry from the harmful effects of COVID-19 pandemic. Once again, thank you so much for allowing me the golden opportunity of yet again using my God-given talent in showing the world what my country has to offer. On my own behalf and on behalf of my team, I want to thank you, Honorable Minister. I want to thank you, Lily, and the Tourism Board, Afrantanti, for endowing me with this very noble task for good and my country.
A round of applause for our new tourism ambassador. Mr. Joshua Cheptegei. It's an honor to know that you are a part of this amazing push. Now,